Hello everyone, hola, merhaba, annyeonghaseyo, and I guess I should add German and Thai in there now too because I have officially started studying them both. So, hello and sawadee ka, and please don't judge my Thai pronunciation too harshly yet, I have just started, so hopefully it will get better. But today we're talking about why I don't have a study routine even though I study 5 languages. Now, that might seem kind of crazy to some of you all, and if you thrive on a routine, this is not to say that you should throw your routine away. If it's working for you, keep it, please. But today, I'm going to be talking to all my language learning friends that have tried a routine and have failed repeatedly at that routine. So let's talk about it. So, what do I mean when I say I don't have a study routine? That's not to say that I don't have any plan at all. Obviously, you need some sort of plan and direction for your study. I do set goals and I try to work towards those goals when I do study, but I don't schedule when I'm going to study and I don't really plan how I'm going to study beforehand. I do have a vague idea of the how and the when, and that's just because I work during the week, and so I have time in the morning that I can study, I have time in the afternoon that I can study, and that's it. So I have to study in those times if I'm going to study that day. So I know ahead of time that I have the morning time and the evening time to study, and that's it. And I know which resources that I'm going to use to study with, and I don't really plan, but I think about which language I'm going to study the next day, the night before. But I don't do any weekly, monthly, quarterly planning other than just to set goals for myself. And when I sit down to study, I have those goals in mind. So the way I approach studying is very flexible, and we'll talk more about how I do that at the end of the video. But first, let's talk about why I do that. I have definitely tried the schedules and routines, just like probably everybody else has, but they really, really do not work for me. It overcomplicates things, it makes me plan too much and procrastinate studying by planning more and more and more. And then when I actually do get around to studying, it falls apart very quickly. And if I miss just one study session that I have scheduled, it all falls apart. My whole routine is completely broken after that. And it also puts a lot of pressure on me to study correctly, to study this exact thing at this exact time, and it makes me not enjoy studying, which is silly because I only study languages because I enjoy studying languages. So I should enjoy it, right? And so because I don't enjoy having a strict routine, I tend to rebel against having that routine at all. And I end up going weeks, or I have gone even months sometimes, without studying because I made a routine that I hated, and then I avoided the routine at all cost, and it meant that I wasn't studying at all. So, while for some people a routine might seem like the most effective way to learn a language, it was not for me. In fact, it made me study less. So, how do I actually approach studying? The when I study for me is very easy because I have 2 options. I either study in the morning before I go to work, or I study when I get home from work. And on the weekends, it's just whenever I want to. But for the weekdays, before work, after work, pick one or both, and that's that. The how is where I use a study menu. And this is not an original idea. I've definitely heard other people talk about it. I know I've seen Elise de Vega mention it, and I'm sure other people have as well. But basically, all it is a big old list of things that you can do in your target language to study. And I don't really have like a list written out, but I know all the things that I like to do to study, and when it's time to study, I just pick one and that's that. I don't really plan ahead of time. Sometimes the night before I will think about, okay, what language do I want to study when I get up in the morning? I think I'll study Turkish, or I think I'll study Korean, you know. But I don't really do like weekly plans or monthly plans or anything like that. I do have goals that I've set, and so a lot of the things that I choose to do for studying will bring me closer to that goal. But I really find if I plan out my goals too meticulously, like I'm going to learn 10 new vocabulary words every day, yeah, forget about it. I'm not learning any new vocabulary words. So when I actually do sit down to study, I do think about my goals. I think about, okay, what's one step closer that I can take towards this goal? I don't overthink it. It's just, what can I do right now in this moment to get closer to that goal? And I do it. If I'm wanting to improve my vocabulary, maybe I make some flashcards with new vocabulary. But I don't really plan out how I'm going to get to that goal. And I also don't set deadlines for my goal, which I know is totally against like the way you're supposed to set goals. There's other goals that maybe I would set a deadline for, but in things that I enjoy doing, I know the goal that I'm trying to achieve, and I just try to move closer to it each time I study. It's really not that complicated. And that's kind of the point, is to not overcomplicate things. Like, if you just sit down and choose something, anything to study with, you are going to get better at the language gradually. Maybe the thing that you choose to study with that day is not the most efficient or effective thing, but to me, that doesn't really matter. It just matters that I am studying the language. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just have a list of things that I like to study with. So, all my resources that I use, YouTube channels that I like to watch, podcasts that I like to listen to. I know all these things that I like to do, and I just sit down and choose one. It's really not that complicated. It's a very low stress and easy, lazy, maybe you would call it, way to study. And that's what I enjoy, and that's what keeps me coming back to my languages day after day. So I'm keeping it. That's what I'm doing. And if this works for you, maybe let me know in the comments. And I will see you all next time. Bye.